Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. Crucial has reconnected to the server, and things will be getting underway. In case you're wondering why Winstrike are currently all stabbing each other, that's because the knife round has already been played, and Endpoint to claim victory in it. They will be starting on the city side, but due to some technical issues, the server was restarted. It looks like they've had another DC here from the side of Endpoint. But we can just keep things alive, as I can't imagine it being an issue that takes too long to resolve. Otherwise they would have just, resolved it while Crucial wasn't in the server. And we're back. The unpause comes through, ladies and gents, and match 3 is about to get well and truly underway. Sorry. There we are. Apologies for that one, ladies and gentlemen. But map 3 is about to get well and truly underway. Endpoint starting on the CT side here of Overpass. A map that does favour the AWPers, and we saw Elian have an amazing match on Vertigo just prior. Surreal attempting for these early headshots, but none of them going to go his way just yet. Winstrike angling over towards this B bomb site, actually deciding that they want to take things over to that portion of the map. Robin attempting to try and reply, but Bondic and Lackey are the first two players to get the frags through. Now Thomas is able to answer back, but is it in time? Surreal aware that there's a player in connector, and it's Bondic with a Molotov. That door's just going to be shut straight in his face. We'll deal with that problem later. Crizzen tries to aggress in, but Thomas is able to deal with him. Not too soon either, as Elian is the man to save the round. A double kill from him, and the cleanup from Hobbit in the end allow the pistol round to go Winstrike's way. But Endpoint will be forcing regardless. Flash over the top, trying to do something, but obviously unlikely to connect. 4 MAC-10s in this round. That is that's not something you see very often. I think they're definitely not expecting to walk straight into a force here. Crucial lands the shot, but not the crucial one. The head is somewhat missed. Robin could be nasty here. This smoke could actually play straight into his favor if they decide to run through with these MAC-10s. He's in position to spam, finds one, can't get the second though. Hobbit will deal with him eventually. But the rotations have already come through. Mighty Max is on hand with the Deagle. More smoke's being deployed onto this A-bomb site, but there are 4 CT players here ready to defend. Thomas deals yet more chip damage, but the kills somehow aren't being found by Endpoint as Max swings out, but gets nothing, unfortunately. Crizzen able to clean up. And Winstrike convert the second. They'll carry those MAC-10s even further forward. And check out Hobbit's money. He's on 3,600, looking to farm that up even higher with these SMG kills here. Max just gets a cheeky little backstab from his teammate in this eco, as all of Endpoint look to just rush straight up long with those pistols and see if they can find anybody. They won't, however, as Winstrike calmly make their way into the B-bomb site. bomb will go down within this site, and Winstrike obviously looking to be able to defend against it. And Endpoint right now just sort of stacked towards the playground, hoping they can get some exits on the way out here. Hobbit finds the first scraps of cash he's looking for with that SMG, and Lackey and Bondic might decide that they fancy some cash of their own. Lackey certainly will by the looks of things, but he's gone the wrong way about it. Not expecting them to be in playground, although now he advances, and well, he'll have to try not to fall foul for this boost. They actually spam through the wood. A pretty cool strategy, all things considered, but only able to yield the one kill. Mac 10 recovered, but Robin probably won't even use it in this round. They're just going to stick straight on the rifles. No bonuses here. The same cannot be said for Winstrike, who are more than happy to take these Mac 10s through. Smokes down to delay those Molotovs. Early utility damage taken by Winstrike, but the kills going Endpoint's way. Thomas gets one before falling. Max will eventually be traded out by Bondic, and oh, he actually spots out the player behind the barrels too. That gets messy. Surreal has to find a way around this still, and Hobbit gets taken down through the smoke. Bondic elsewhere goes down, and very quick AWPing there from Crucial give Endpoint their first round on the board, and it's the first full gun round of the map. This time, Winstrike take things somewhat slower. Aware that there could be an imminent danger at any moment. Smokes deployed. Flash even from Surreal. Wants to pop himself in, but Molotov will keep Krizen out of B, at least for the moment. He decides he's going to smoke it and go straight through, though. And that gives Surreal a great angle. Spots the head and takes the player. Don't want to be giving away information like that. The cannonades come through. Hobbit's about to go down too. He decides to back off and promptly, while Lackey puts all that effort into not giving away the sound cue, and then still, unfortunately, does. Oh, the lineup. Surreal anticipates that grenade throw. Deals with him, and Bondic and Elian, the last two left alive, wondering what on earth happened in this round. Let's take these AKs. Let's take this AWP. And let's get out of here. Save them forward. We ain't doing much in this round. And Endpoint will be picking up their second then, as this round ends with 7 players left alive in the server. Counter-terrorists win. Winstrike. The money, not really there to buy around here, although, well, I say that, that's on the 2 remaining players. Hobbit has already invested into that creek. We'll have to see how that plays out in the next round. Plenty of time being taken in this pause. Options being discussed. It's going to have to be the force from Winstrike based on the buy that they've just gone for, but it's not going to be the most cohesive one. And not the most ideal either. And finally, the unpause does come through. Winstrike consolidate what they can, but Crizzen, interestingly, is just going to be bringing a Glock forward into this one, despite having the money available at least for a P250. He's going to pick up a smoke instead to try and make that one work slightly better. While early utility does get deployed by Winstrike towards B, they have yet to commit to it. Instead, going for this 4-man boost, and it works out brilliantly. Thomas down. Crizzen is able to eventually go back for a CZ in spawn. Well, and that's about the best way you could have hoped to start this round. If you're a Winstrike fan, that is. And Winstrike, after much deliberation, will refocus their efforts over towards this B bomb site. Mighty Max, the most active player to defend. How much of this Winstrike onslaught will he be able to survive? The players begin to encroach onto his territory. They deploy what they think is the necessary utility to keep themselves alive. Whether it is or not remains to be seen as the Krieg from Surreal plants itself perfectly. A well-placed grenade too will deal some damage onto the planter. Hobbit tagged down very low. Smoke towards short will ultimately be fruitless, but Hobbit, he's going to get aggressive over the top of the smoke. Finds Max, looking for more. Spots out the player in heaven, but does not anticipate the man on site to turn. Robin looks for one, but can't get any more as Lackey CZ deals with him in turn. Looking for more from Lackey as Surreal goes down as well, leaving Crucial alone. And he just needs to back out of there. Finds the player he's looking for, but no time to attempt this retake. And Bondic will just sink the nade in the hopes that Crucial still holds for those exits. Winstrike pick up 4. Well, Winstrike, they are in the lead, but their economy is tentative. The same can be said for Endpoint. Crucial wants a Tunnel's Peak there with that AWP, but the fire and the flames are going to force him away. And Winstrike, they consider B yet again. Surreal. On point with the M4. Spots out the heads, but doesn't take the shots as there's a too great a risk to life. Instead, Thomas will be the man to do it. 2 frags from him, assisted by the flashes from his captain. And that's enough to slow Winstrike right down. They aren't going to be pushing into the site at the moment. They're just going to take a moment and reconsider their options. Surreal keeps having the peak, but eventually it's going to cost him his life. Lackey finds one. Nobody watching the close angle flash, or smoke even, deployed to continue to slow things, but Winstrike, they're going to attack this part of the map, and they are going to do it soon. Surreal still down in the water, waiting for the players to push in. 20 seconds left for Winstrike. Not many more mistakes can they afford now. Elian gets crucial. That leaves us in the 3v3. Surreal goes down, and that's the real crucial kill. Lackey brings us into the 3-on-2. Mighty Max in the corner. Shoulder peeking that up, but punished eventually, and all of a sudden Robin, his head cannot be avoided. Elian with a huge triple kill. Winstrike take the round. They put themselves on 5 and firmly in the lead here on Overpass. As the late night play certainly not detracting from Elian's ability. Endpoint down to just the pistols yet again. As Winstrike continue to abuse the B-bomb site at the moment. It's working out well for them so far. Looks like the bomb will go down relatively uncontested here. Elian actually hasn't got it anywhere near the site. They were just clearing it out first. And now Lackey makes his way in. Plant eventually committed to then, with just about 50 seconds left on the clock, and Endpoint consider retaking. Crucial Steagle will find the opening kill of these engagements, but still a difficult task for the British side to attempt. Hobbit finds one, gets the second as well, pushing through short. None of those shenanigans are allowed, and Crucial on just 5 HP, the only man with a frag in this round for his side, is going to have to back the hell out of there and try and save his armor forward, as Winstrike's T-side here on Overpass is proving to be mighty strong indeed. Another 4-buy now can be afforded by the CTs. We should start to get a sense now of who is in control of the half in this gun round. If it's a convincing one from Winstrike, Endpoint are in trouble, and Crucial is certainly just being out-orped at the moment. Elian getting it done. Man advantage again. Goes Winstrike's way early. Bondic with total connector control. Be able to communicate to his teammates that pushing A might be a good idea, but there's contention towards long. Hobbit's found the one headshot, and the spray transfer is enough to secure the second before him or his teammate fall down, and that leaves Endpoint in the 4 versus 2 situation. I don't even think they rotate off the B-bomb site here. They are just going to sit in that B site, save those rifles, save that utility. See if it can do more work for you in the next one. Winstrike, they take their time nonetheless. They don't want to be taking any unnecessary risks here. And this will be this. Winstrike certainly with the dominant T half at the moment, and Elian's AWPing is simply incredible. Mighty Pax just missing the timing there on the connector peak, but it looks like he will be able to get away with his life, all things considered. But, oh, Hobbit made a little bit of a mistake there, perhaps. Not realizing that he's actually just a bit too close there. Gets tagged down by the bomb. That means that there is going to need to be partial reinvestment, but at this stage it's not looking so significant. The force has come through from Endpoint. They are gathering the rifles around what they saved. Oh, look at this. Winstrike have gone super aggressive, and oh, they've anticipated Thomas's positioning. Crucial will get one from Party, but now he's got more work to do. Hobbit just going to stay true. Bondic looks around, but won't find him. Hobbit eventually does convert that kill into the 3-on-3 situation. Now Winstrike have to decide where to go again. Hobbit on just 10 HP with that bomb at the moment. And it looks like Winstrike want to be testing the waters over at A. And then Hobbit is praying that somebody walks past his crosshairs on the rotation. He can kill them and then slip in towards that B bomb site. Mighty Max, he's going roaming. It might not be the best time for that at the moment. Crizzen is creeping through these toilets. Mighty Max is spotted. First player down. Robin down in connector is too far away to assist here. And now we can see Hobbit making his moves over towards the B site. He is on his way. He's just going to creep in towards Monster. But Surreal has anticipated this. And all he has to do is stay on the site. And he's won it. Hobbit. 10 HP, bomb in hand. He's just going to commit straight to the plant. Surreal hears it. Now he has to guess where Hobbit is. The smoke dissipates in time. He even turns around for Crizzen. Surreal saves the round. Winstrike. They don't put 8 on the board just yet. Straight back to... Oh, dear. Alien taking a bunch of damage from that knife kill there. Now we'll have to see just how much Endpoint are able to accomplish in this one. Straight back to... Oh, dear. Alien, take. Well then, now Winstrike have decided to slow things down yet again. They've spread out their presence across the map. They have mid control, which I think they've had for the first time this map. And Endpoint basically seem convinced that this is a B execute. 3 players deep in the site. Not willing to let this one go. Crucial deploys the smoke, which gives his position away, but he's actually just going to sneak straight into it. How nasty. Bondic does get him through the wall, but at least he's able to find one for his troubles as the rotators begin the route back to A. Thomas, tasked with defending alongside his teammates here, will get the one as Robin finds Lackey elsewhere. Robin even looking for more. He finds himself a second headshot, and Winstrike, their chances of entering this round are over. Elian straight back out of there, saving his AWP forward, and Endpoint, they might even go hunting. Mighty Max has found himself the AK-47. But he'll be content with that for now. Well, the full buys do come through either side, but something that potentially could be dangerous for Endpoint here is their lack of AWPers. Such a significant map to have the AWP available, and Crucial really hasn't been standing up to the 1v1 duel against Alien so far. That said, doesn't mean he can't potentially... Oh, dear. Mighty Max. That was a little bit of a mistake. Thankfully, Thomas is there to trade. Bondic shuts the connector door. And deploys more utility onto this B bomb site as Elian waits in the wings on short. Somebody will walk into his crosshair soon, and the man to do so is Surreal. Orp shot found. Man advantage given to Winstrike. B execute now firmly on the cards. These A players begin to rotate over, but it's all on Thomas right now. It's go big or go home time. What? Is this real? Is this real life? What? What is this? What? This isn't the right game. What? Okay. I'm perplexed. We're back. We're back, folks. We are back. God knows how, but we are. We've returned to normal. The game is live. 10-4, last round of the first half. Apologies for all of that missed content, but really not much we can do about any of that. Endpoint starting things off strong in this round, or at least they were, before Surreal gets eliminated there. Bondic follows it up onto Crucial as well. And things looking pretty good for Winstrike at the moment, as they continue to tag through. 4-on-2 situation in the last round of this first half. Robin will get one before Hobbit takes him out. And now it's all on Mighty Max. The 1 versus 3 in the final round of this first half. Here's the bomb go down, but yes, perfectly. The trigger discipline not quite there, so his position is given away. And Hobbit just lurking in that smoke. Is it anticipated? Oh, the step gives his position away, but he finds Hobbit, turns around. And now, Prison. Oh, turns around and tags him. Oh, nearly. The 180. For a moment, you had hope. Yet another clutch from the mighty man, but nonetheless, it does not go their way, unfortunately. 11-4 then for Winstrike here on Overpass, as they've had a dominant T-side. Some of which we've missed, unfortunately, but nonetheless, hopefully, the issues don't plague us heading forward into the second half. Well, the pistol round then underway. Some utility acquired from Endpoint. A flash and a couple of smokes. Oh, Crucial. Gets his head taken off by Bondic, and Lackey's the next man on point to try and deal with things. Oh, he just gets taken out through the smoke, though. Elian on the flank. No one was thinking of him, and he might be able to make his way back out long quite quickly. But Thomas, he tries to sneak through, and that simply will not be allowed. Versus 3 situation. Crizzen does land some damage there onto Surreal, and Robin will put the bomb down into the site. 2 versus 3 situation. 150 HP versus 300. Robin, first man on point, finds the headshot, gets tagged in the back, but Surreal has his. And all of a sudden it's on to Hobbit, who has the defuse kit, but nothing else going his way. The 2v3 pulled off, an Endpoint. They take this pistol. They'll have the rifles to boot. Winstrike happy to hold the eco here in this one. as they just commit all of their USPSs towards mid here, hoping that somebody tries to make their way through these bathrooms, because it is an absolute shooting gallery in here. This is where your pre-fire practice comes into play if you're an Endpoint player. Winstrike, they're going to get a little bit aggressive here. Bondic will find some damage, but certainly nothing to sing home about. And Surreal, he's playing the late game too. He could catch all these guys off guard. Robin, instead, is the man to fall foul. At long, the pistols overwhelm him, but the flanks have dealt with some of these excess Winstrike members. The AK recovered by Crizzen, but he knows that re-peeking that angle without armor may not be the best idea. B-site, meanwhile, under Crucial's control, who puts the bomb down. And that should be the round secured for Endpoint. Okay, Crucial. That's not necessary. You've already won the round. Crizzen just happy to save that AK-47 forward. The 6th round then guaranteed by Endpoint. And Winstrike will be bringing forward all of the guns in the next one. And the pause does come through. Endpoint currently 5 rounds behind after what was a dominant T-side there from Winstrike. But we saw the side struggle on the CT side of Train, and they managed to claw that one back to an overtime situation. So perhaps the Endpoint boys can get it done here on Overpass. Grenades being deployed, but only minimal damage found so far. Right now, both sides just trying to trade tags, but keeping it nice and slow. No one committing anywhere just yet. Endpoint were angling towards the A-bomb site, but maybe they're rethinking things. Crucial. Is he going to peek here with the bomb? Oh, dear. He is going to do so. And it's dropped in front of the wall. Is that correct? If so, that is a serious nightmare now for Endpoint, because they have to go back and get it. They have to commit to this A-bomb site, all because of that peek from Crucial. What a mistake. And Thomas is going to shoot Max in the back as well. And it's eaten up so much time just going back from the bomb here that the A-bomb site simply has to be committed into. Now the smokes are being lined up and away they go. Ellie and Zorp, the first thing to be tested, and despite the fact that he's virtually blind, still gets the job done. The next man to face out is going to be looking to take revenge, however. Not going to be able to achieve that just yet. Bondic, not quite Flash, will be able to find the frag, despite only being on 10 HP, and that leaves Robin alone in the 1v3. No time to plant the bomb after he's picked it up. He's got to go for these frags, but only Lackey is going to aggress into him, and even that frag can't be found. Winstrike put themselves on 12. And just 4 rounds away from taking the series. The full buy coming through from Endpoint. The ball's well and truly to the wall right now. Endpoint need to draw something from themselves here. Some kind of motivation. Some kind of mental strength. They trade 1 for 1 at the beginning of this round. Not really enough. Lackey on close point to do so much damage. Runs through. Slightly mistimed flash. Robin's able to capitalize, but okay. He's able to find a second in the site, and that gives Endpoint a way in. versus 3 retake situation, and Elian is making his way over. He's going to give it a go. Needs this smoke to start disappearing, though. It will do so. The first man found. Robin down. 2 versus 2 situation as the time ticks down, but this is one hell of a crossfire set up from Endpoint at the moment. Bondik has to be perfect here. Is so. Does find the first frag, but there's so much time gone. He just has to charge in and stick the defuse. There's literally no time for him to do anything else. And is it possible? Is that possible? No way. The time is too far gone. Endpoint, they do pick up 7. Bondik will fall down in the narrowest of fashions. Winstrike now have to go for the eco. They simply can't afford the full investment into the round. Well, Hobbit goes down as the first point of order. And the rest of Endpoint start barreling their way in towards this B-bomb site. Lackey's only teammate falls. He'll secure a dink, and even actually the follow-up frag onto Robin before Crucial removes him from proceedings. Elian already deciding that saving this AWP is the most valuable path of action in this particular round. So Endpoint guaranteed 8 here, and if they can keep these 4 players alive, they'll be able to put their money in a bit of a better position heading forward as well. Max has even been able to upgrade onto the AK. And another timeout is called in. Winstrike, they will have the money to buy up in this one. Elian can drop too, so no real question about that. Endpoint can't really afford to fall foul to this one. It's not enough for them to keep winning one round and then losing another, because unfortunately the odds just aren't stacked in their favor that way. The stats will not allow them to just trade round for round and end up victorious after their performance in the first half. And Winstrike know it. They know that this one's an important one. Their money is pretty empty here. If the Endpoint side wanted to open the door for a comeback, this would be the round that they would do it in. Good Molotov there. Will actually deal a little bit of damage onto Robin early on in the round. Has to be extinguished. But commonplace here on Overpass. One for you to learn your matchmaking strats. Mighty Max will receive a little bit more damage as well through that door. And Elian finds Crucial. And Bondik, how has he been allowed this position? Thomas gets taken down too. He's had an AK and Robin's in a really dangerous spot here. He's even going to be flashed. Oh, sprays through, gives his position away. And all of a sudden this gets super messy for Endpoint. 2 players down. Elian playing so aggressively on the smoke. Eventually it's his downfall. But look at this. Hobbit, he's moved straight in and found the 1 frag they need to bring the advantage back. He's just going to try and bomb his way back to this A-bomb site. Can't get back in time. We'll have to turn around. And it'll only deal some damage. Can't find any kills as Crizzen takes his turn to get aggressive here in the bathrooms. And they're just going to walk straight into him. Mighty Max takes damage but doesn't fall. And potentially a missed opportunity. Bondik gets spotted out through the door hole. And all of a sudden Endpoint have more than a chance in this round. Lackey's going to make his way back over with the AWP. He's in heaven. Ah, and he lands the shot too. That's the bomb dropped, and now Max is in a tough spot. In the smoke, has the bomb to hand, but with just 14 seconds left, knows he has to commit. Or does he? Expects the aggression, but gets the timing on it wrong, and the AWP shot misses. He's given a chance in this round, but Crizzen and Lackey somewhat have his number. Crizzen attempts, or rather Lackey attempts the knife kill, and Crizzen's rifle denies it. Winstrike pick up 13, and Endpoint are now in a tough spot. They can invest, but look at what it's cost them. Nothing in the bank for 4 players right now for Endpoint. Absolutely nothing, which means their buy in the next round would be atrocious should they lose, and at the same time, Winstrike would be on 14. Endpoint just waiting to advance right now. And after the utility's deployed, they will do so. Lackey is going to back out of there with the AWP, and he will get 1 kill, but Crucial finds Crizzen. Lackey continues to open up onto the site, though. Elian gets one of his own, and that leaves us in a 2 versus 2 situation. Oh, Bondit goes down to Crucial as well. And that makes it difficult, especially when he just creeps through the smoke like that. Elian throws his life away, and the round is won by Endpoint. The money for Winstrike once again knocked down a peg. But again, if we look at the rounds right now, win 2, lose 1 from Endpoint. And that, unfortunately, they can't sustain that form. Unfortunately, because in 4 more rounds, they're going to be on 13, and Winstrike, by that logic, would be on 15 already. So just the pistols available for Winstrike, as Hobbit's removed from proceedings pretty early on. Surreal waiting for somebody to push into his tunnel on Valentine's Day of all days, but no one will grace his crosshair just yet. As the rest of Winstrike, they migrate up towards the A bomb site to try and hold this defense against what will be an inevitable onslaught of rifles. Now, it doesn't look like they're going to be directed straight towards A, as the bomb is rapidly making its way over to the other side of the map. So, should be a relatively clean one from Endpoint here. Looks like Winstrike are going to get a little bit aggressive. They do want to go hunting with these pistols. Robin finds one, looking to clean up more with the pistols, but Crizzen is able to take him out of things, and Lackey deploys his 1 flashbang, but mixed effectiveness, let's say, as Mighty Max should be able to farm up the extra catch here with his SMG. And the buy once again comes through for the primarily Kazakhstani roster. Oh, look at that grenade. That is beautiful. Bondic dealing the damage. And interestingly, Elian's actually given his position away with that scope. Yep. Gets completely heard there by Surreal down in the tunnels, and that ultimately spells his demise. And now Endpoint, they want to aggress into things on this A-bomb site. Hobbit in position to stop. Holds for the spray down, but can only get 1. Crucial is able to trade before Bondic does even more of the work. Krieg to hand now. Molotov even to buy himself some relative safety. The grenade will land at his feet, but it's not enough to kill him. The fire and the flames might be, however, as he decides to continue to advance, but the smoke has provided him cover. He should just be able to get out of here now. And he will do so. Surreal alone. 1v3 situation. Oh, Surreal finds one. Bonnick is so close. They nearly line up. The potential for the transfer is there. However, unable to be actualized. Winstrike now just 2 from victory in this best of 3 series. And remember, that wouldn't knock Endpoint out of proceedings. It would just knock them into the lower bracket. They would be on their last lifeline to try and make it through. Winstrike have Hobbit positioned relatively aggressively up on short, but aside from that, the B site hold is relatively passive. But A, actually completely unguarded right now. They've got 2 players up towards long to try and counteract that split push, but they've left mid virtually uncontested here. Bondic spot out Robin first of all, and that takes him out of the round. And now, Endpoint have a question to answer. What do we do now? Well, it looks like they're going to want to reposition towards A, but the rotators have arrived. And they are ready to defend, let alone the fact that Bondic is on the flank. But Thomas has dealt with him now, and that opens things up for the entrance into A. Molotov's deployed onto the site. Lackey has to reposition somewhat, but I don't think they will have heard out his positioning just yet. Eventually does get spotted, but Elian's taken out one. Lackey removes Crucial. Surreal eventually finds one more, but unfortunately, it's too strong, at least for now. Thomas, though, he's on for the clutch. 2 versus 1 situation. Has to go for kills here. No time to plant the bomb. All Hobbit has to do to win is stay alive, and he knows it. Thomas just has to get out of there, and Winstrike, they will pick up series point here. Endpoint would need 5 in a row to stay in things. Now Endpoint are in trouble. Pistols supported by the 1 AK in the hands of Thomas, and a B execute is what they're going to call. Robin, the first man in, dealt with straight away, but Thomas is able to find the return on the AK-47. Moves his way into sight, but Hobbit and Krisen are cleaning things up right now, and Hobbit gets it done. Down the shooting gallery, and Winstrike pick up overpass 16-10, ladies and gentlemen. My name has been Protalis, and if you've enjoyed the casting, you can follow me at Protalis22 on Twitter. Now then, don't worry, Endpoint fans. They are still in the tournament. They just dropped down into the lower bracket. They